Seduction like power does not belong to the most attractive. It belongs to the most strategic. Machiavelli would never leave attraction to chance. He would understand that desire is about behavior, not appearance. That what truly attracts is mystery, mastery, scarcity, and emotional control. Men who chase, beg, and over-explain become predictable, and predictability kills interest. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 cruel but effective rules to flip the script, to stop chasing and start being chased. The question isn't whether they'll notice you. The real question is, will you know how to keep control when they start coming after you? There are men who chase desire as if it were a prize to be won. Others, wiser, understand that the real game is not to chase, but to be chased. When it comes to desire, especially in the world of attraction between the sexes, few have understood this as clearly as Niccolo Machiavelli. No, he didn't write about romantic seduction in The Prince, but everything he taught about power, emotional control, and strategic manipulation applies directly to the game of love, or rather to the illusion of love, because Professor, let me tell you something, female desire is not conquered, it is provoked. And those who master this dynamic rarely need to chase anyone. They simply allow others to come to them. So today we are going to talk about something forbidden, something many feel, but few dare to name. We're going to talk about Machiavellian seduction. Not the kind based on fake modern niceness, but on the ancient art of conquering hearts without ever giving up your own. Let's get into the 5 cruel rules that will make women chase you even when they realize what's happening. Be scarce, not in the material sense, but emotionally. Machiavelli knew that the value of things increases in proportion to their scarcity. A treasure is valuable only because not everyone can have it. A jewel is desired because it's unique. The same goes for human attraction. Men who are always available, who reply too quickly, who show interest before they're even chosen, these men are seen as accessible. What's accessible by definition is not coveted. The Machiavellian man understands this with almost surgical coldness. He knows desire is born where there is distance, and that intimacy without scarcity turns into banality. He doesn't show up when expected. He appears when necessary, and always with the calm of someone who knows they've been sought after. And women, driven by the same human psyche that drives any other player in the social game, start to ask themselves, who is he? After all, why doesn't he seem to need me? Am I the one trying to impress him? That's the moment the game flips and the hunter becomes the hunted. Don't ask for explanations. Make them offer explanations spontaneously. One of the hallmarks of weak men is their constant need for justifications. They want to understand why someone acted a certain way. They want to know if they did something wrong. They crave reassurance that they're still important. This kind of man is always searching for answers. The problem is, whoever asks for explanations reveals insecurity. And insecurity is the opposite of power. The Machiavellian man, on the other hand, never asks for explanations. He just observes, silent, calm, sometimes even indifferent. It's precisely this lack of reaction that forces the other side to explain themselves. Because when someone doesn't seem fazed, the other begins to fear they've already lost control of the situation. Machiavelli would say, a prince should seem deaf when he hears criticism and blind when he sees betrayal. Translating to the game of seduction, be emotionally unavailable and let her fight for your attention. Because when she does, she will have taken the first step toward emotional submission. 3. Show power without having to announce it. Many men mistake power for exposure. They think they need to show off money, status, achievements, or even other relationships to be desired. But true power does not need to be announced. It reveals itself in the way someone enters a room, in the way they speak, the way they look, the way they move. Without haste, the Machiavellian man carries power like a shadow. He doesn't need to declare that he's important. His mere presence makes it obvious to everyone. Morelli understood this concept well. He saw power as something that should be felt, not shown. He wrote, "The true leader does not need to announce his authority. It is recognized by the silence he causes. And in the game of attraction, this translates with brutal clarity. Women are drawn to those who seem to be in control, even if that control is just a well-constructed illusion. Show I power through subtle actions, through steady gestures, through calculated words, through meaningful silences, and let them reach their own conclusions. Use silence as your most lethal weapon. We talk a lot about beautiful words, passionate declarations, long messages, and eternal promises, but we forget that sometimes the greatest seduction is silence. The foolish man fills the void with words, the wise man uses it as a weapon. Because silence creates anxiety, it generates curiosity, it encourages speculation. Speculation that almost always benefits the one who remains quiet. Machiavelli knew this better than anyone. He understood that words can reveal weaknesses. Silence, on the other hand, suggests strength. And so the Machiavellian man learns to use silence masterfully. He knows that a lingering look can say more than 1,000 words, that a delayed response can have more impact than a hurried declaration, and above all, he who remains silent makes no mistakes, and he who makes no mistakes appears infallible. And nothing is more attractive than the illusion of perfection. Never seem to depend on her even when you want to. This is perhaps the cruelest point of all, because it touches directly on the existential wound of the modern man, the fear of being alone. Many men enter relationships seeking wholeness. They believe that finding someone will fill their emptiness, that love will be the cure for loneliness, that finally there will be someone who loves them despite everything. But the Machiavellian man knows that no one loves another completely. Everyone loves parts. And when those parts change, love changes as well. So he makes a conscious choice never to be emotionally dependent, not even on the woman he loves, because dependence is weakness, and weakness is repellent, even if only subconsciously. He loves here. Yes, he desires. Yes, he cares. Yes. But he never gives the impression that his life depends on her. In the game of attraction, the one who needs is the weaker. The one who doesn't need is the stronger, and the stronger one inevitably becomes the object of desire. Conclusion: seduction is not the art of love. It is the art of power. My friends, seduction is not a matter of beauty, nor of material resources, nor even of superficial charisma. It's a matter of emotional positioning. It is the art of making the other feel they're about to lose something valuable. And because of that, they rush to hold on to it. If Machiavelli were among us today, he would certainly not approve of modern speeches about healthy relationships or transparent communication. He would see this as naivety, disguised as morality for him. Desire is born from tension. Tension is born from uncertainty, and uncertainty is created by those who master the game. So, Professor, I leave you with this reflection. Do you want to be loved or do you want to be desired? They are two completely different things. And if it's the latter, remember, desire is not conquered. It is provoked.